With the end of February and the beginning of March, we're looking into some of the most hyped games coming out this month. So this is just gonna be a list of games that we think that you guys should be checking out. Maybe put on your radar if you haven't checked them out yet, or if you don't know about them yet. But with that, before we hop into this, do me a favor, you guys, like and subscribe down below. With that, we're not gonna waste any more time, and we're gonna hop into this video. Starting things off on March 3rd, we have Wulong Fallen Dynasty. This is a big game coming out by Team Ninja. And if you don't know about Team Ninja, they're pretty much a development team under Koei Tecmo. They brought us the Neo series, the Ninja Gaiden series, Dead or Alive. There are tons of pedigree in this game. And this looks like it's going to be their next big hit. There is a demo available. I checked that out. There's a video on the channel if you guys are interested. Link down below. Yeah, so pretty much this is a Neo slash Souls-like game that takes place during the Three Kingdoms era. So anyone who's familiar with the Dynasty Warriors games, you're going to see a lot of familiar names and see a lot of familiar characters. And pretty much from what I played, this game is tons of fun. It's fast-paced, very violent. A lot of things that you want from a video game, this is gonna have it. It is gonna be on a difficult side, so I do recommend checking out the demo before you get into this. Or if you're just into really hard games, then just hop into it. Don't even worry about it, you guys. But yeah, again, this is coming out March 3rd. It is gonna be available on Game Pass if you have Xbox. But for anyone else who doesn't, it's gonna be available on the PlayStation and PC as well. Let me know if you guys are gonna be checking this game out. We're gonna have tons of content on this one on the channel, so look forward to that. Next up, releasing March 9th, we have Oni, Road to be the Mightiest Oni. This is a 3D action game that's releasing on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStations, and PC. This is an indie game being developed by Kenai Design. Sorry if I butchered that. I've never heard of them, so this is my first time checking out a game from them. Looks really interesting. So pretty much in this game, you play as Kuda, the lone survivor of the Battle of Anegashima. And then you go on your journey and try to build his strength up. It looks very interesting. It looks kind of anime inspired. I like the art direction. I'm definitely going to be checking this one out. The gameplay looks very fast paced and addictive. And then all the characters look very interesting. So I want to kind of see what's hidden in this world and what they got to offer right now. Hopefully this is a great game. And hopefully we can look forward to more from this team. On the same day, March 9th, we have Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. This is another game being developed by Koei Tecmo. This is actually a remaster of a Wii game that never released in the West. If you guys never heard of Fatal Frame, this is a survival horror game where instead of using a gun or a melee weapon to fight off your enemies, you actually have this camera named Obscura, and you go around and you take pictures of ghosts in order to defeat them. I never actually played a Fatal Frame game before, but I know my brothers used to hype this game up so much. So I'm definitely interested in checking this out. It does look very Japanese horror, which terrifies the hell out of me. Some of the scariest movies I've ever seen are Japanese horror films, and this looks right up that type of alleyway. So I'm definitely gonna be terrified. Hopefully this game doesn't scare me too much. Something that I never noticed, but I'm noticing now, was that typically horror games are rated mature, but this one's actually rated teen. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how to utilize less gory subject matters in order to scare people. So I'm assuming a lot more jump scares, etc. But yeah, so this is gonna be coming out March 9th. Definitely give it a shot. It's coming out to all consoles, the PC. So no excuse why you guys shouldn't be trying this one. And then coming March 14th to the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and PC, we have Legends of Heroes Trails to Azure. Game developed by Falcom, and they've been doing a really good job importing over all of their Legends of Heroes Trails games. So this is a long line of well-renowned games that have for a long time have had cult classic in the RPG community. And now currently they've been rising up in prominence. A lot of people have been hearing about it, been checking them out. It is a really in-depth RPG if you guys haven't tried it out. I've played a couple of them before. They do take up a lot of time, but they're definitely worth your time to invest into if you're looking for a really big RPG to hop into. All the characters are amazing. All the conversations and dialogue between them are very engaging. The only thing is, this is continuing, and typically you kind of almost don't get the full experience unless you tried out the first games. So definitely look into checking out some of the earlier games. That way you can hop into this one with no questions asked. Next up, on March 17th, we have Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. This is a game being developed by Platinum. Those of you who are familiar with the Bayonetta series, this is a prequel to the Bayonetta series where you kind of understand who Cereza was before she becomes the witch known as Bayonetta. This looks to be a completely new take on Bayonetta, so it's not going to be risque, or I don't think as action packed, but it's definitely an interesting take. I'm not exactly sure how fans are going to receive this one, but I think more like non-fans are probably going to respect this game a little bit more. It looks very interesting to me. I love the art style. But as someone who is a really big fan of Bayonetta, I'm not exactly sure how I land on if we needed a change of gameplay for Bayonetta. With all that being said, it definitely looks interesting. I'm definitely going to be trying it out and seeing how worth it is. On the same day, March 17th, we have WWE 2K23. This is coming out to the PlayStations, Xboxes, and PC. After playing WWE 2K22, it definitely feels like wrestling games have found their footing again and understand a new formula of how they're going to deliver these games. So I expect a lot more of the same. They do introduce a new match, the War Games match. So if you're a huge fan of WWE, I can't see a reason why you wouldn't pick this game up. But if you're not really into wrestling, it is kind of a harder. I can't really see why you would get it. But it is really fun, and I do recommend people try it out. Coming March 21st to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC, we have Tchia. This was one of the standout games I saw on the last Sony State of Play. It's going to be available to anyone who has the PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium tier list. So it looks very colorful. It looks like it's very much inspired by Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild as far as the physics mechanics goes, where you can climb anything you want. Some of the things that I thought looked very interesting was like during the gameplay video, they show like you can fling from like trees to get to traverse the island a little bit better. They have boats and a couple other crafts you can use, like a paraglider similar to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it looks very interesting. Here's hoping that it's another great indie game. On March 22nd, we have another indie game called Have a Nice Death. It's going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch, but it is already available on Steam. So in Have a Nice Death, it's a 2D action roguelike where you play as Death, and he's the CEO of Death Incorporated. And pretty much all his underlings have run a rampage and no longer are doing their job, so it left Death to handle a lot of the paperwork. So then he goes out and he has to remind everybody who's the real boss around here. And it looks like really interesting. I like the art style. I love these little quirky, fun, like story ideas that they have for these indie games. So this looks like another really fun Metroidvania. Definitely want to check this game out. And then on March 24th, we have Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key. So this is the finale to the Atelier Ryza trilogy. Any of you guys who don't know, this is a game that's developed by Koei Tecmo's Team Gust. Team Gust has kind of long been the most consistent, I think, development team in Koei Tecmo. You know what you're getting out of an Atelier series games. Atelier Ryza specifically is the one that kind of streamlined the Atelier series and gained the most prominence. I checked out the first game and I definitely liked it a lot. I haven't checked out the second game, so I definitely want to check that one out before I check out this one. But it looks really fun. I think they're going for a more open world style game. So the developers did delay this game a month just to make sure that it comes out as polished as possible. It's going to be available on the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. So if you're into a lot of RPGs and really fun characters, this is definitely right up your alleyway. It's colorful and exciting, and I definitely want to see where the end of this story goes. And on the same day, March 24th, we have a game that needs no introductions. The remake of Resident Evil 4 is finally here. This game looks dark. This game looks awesome. As a huge fan of the Resident Evil series and Resident Evil 4 specifically being one of my favorites, this looks so good. This is probably one of my most hyped games this year. It's definitely my most hyped game for March. All the new combat changes and melee options they're giving Leon is phenomenal. It's going to be available on PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. And I think this is going to be the game that kind of sets the standard for Capcom as far as the Resident Evil series. What they're going to be doing in the future is going to be showing here in Resident Evil 4. And then after seeing the awesome stuff that they did with Resident Evil 2, it is hard to believe that they can mess up this game. So, I mean, definitely very excited. I think everyone's very excited for this one. Definitely make sure you guys are checking this game out. Let me know down below what your most hyped game is for March. With that, I'll see you guys at our next video.